So today we hope that all of you will walk away with some concrete ideas and resources that you can bring back to your neighborhood. That's really the hope for today, as well as contacts with these city departments and someone who you can reach out to if you want to plan a cleanup or get more information about parks, etc. That's really why we're here. And we also hope that today is the first of many events like this to connect neighborhood leaders with other services, city services, as well as community services, and connect neighborhoods with each other. So today is hopefully also an opportunity to talk to other neighborhood leaders across the city about things they're doing in their neighborhood, and walk away with ideas for your own neighborhood.
My name is Charlene Mendoza, and I'm the Chief of Staff for Mayor Regina Romero. She is unfortunately not able to be here today, but wanted to make sure that her office was represented. Through the course of the time that she served on council and as mayor, working with neighbors has been important to her, and I think that ethic is shared by the entire city of Tucson, as evident by all of the people here today and all of you. You know, I think one of the things that's really important to think about for me is always that our neighborhoods are the backbone. You provide such important opportunities for people to get information, to be able to report back problems or say, hey, I've heard people say this, or hey, there's a house over there that's having trouble. We really appreciate that. I think that one of the commitments that she made early on, and I'm sure many of you have met Eric Garcia, who's our community engagement advisor at the city in the mayor's office. And he is also committed to the work that Corin just talked about, which is helping all of us connect ourselves to each other and to the services the city of Tucson has to offer. As Corin said, there's an opportunity for folks in our community through neighborhood associations to really help be glue that holds areas together. You know, I grew up in Tucson, and I will say one of the things that as a kid I wondered about as I got older is all of a sudden there started to be these signs that never used to exist. And first they used to exist just at places like, I don't know, maybe like Sam Hughes or these neighborhoods that were very well known in Tucson, where it would be like, oh, that's that neighborhood. What I've loved over the last 30 years, and I think it's the work of neighborhood associations, is so many neighborhoods have started to really think about what makes us unique. What makes us this particular place in Tucson, and how do we want to present ourselves to the community? You know, is it working on the little pocket park? Is it helping to make sure that we have speed bumps or better lighting? And all of you have the power and the ability to work with your neighbors to advocate for that. So I really appreciate that. I was telling Corin just a minute ago, you know, coming back to this particular school was very taking me back in my mind. My mom was a special ed teacher who did her student teaching here at Hallenstein. My nana lives across the street on what used to be Arroyo Chico, and where those lacrosse fields are used to be all these vacant Air Force houses that I used to play in as a kid. So I'm having kind of like that little haunted ghost moment, but really appreciative, because I think, again, for those of us who have been here for a long time, we understand what's so special. And neighbors and neighborhood associations are one of the best ways to make sure everybody else knows that too. So thanks for being here today. Find out about all the neat stuff that's happening in Tucson. I love these kinds of things because I learn all the time, which helps us all be better advocates and more available. And I invite you to get in touch with Eric, to get in touch with any of the departments, to come to call to the audience. That's a great way for folks, especially council and mayor, to hear from you. And mostly, thank you for taking time on this Saturday morning to come and be here. Have a wonderful experience and a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody. I have to admit, I put it in notes because when you're told you have to do something really fast, I'm very likely to go off and start talking about other things which I'm already doing. I really meant it though when I said right back at you when you all clap for us. I'd really like to give you a round of applause. You volunteer your time, so much energy, so much time. It's so impressive. And I know how much work it is. So let's give you a round of applause. Okay, so here we go. As you've heard, my name is Rebecca Roop, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of services of the city's Planning and Development Department. and what they provide to neighborhood associations. First, I'll begin with an overview of PDSD's Neighborhood Resource section, which Corn just talked about a bit. The Neighborhood Resources team of two, Chris and myself, offer a range of services which include, you can probably recite this after me, helping with the formation and registration of neighborhood associations, assisting with the reactivation of neighborhood associations when they go dormant. And that happens with many volunteer organizations. Leadership varies, things happen, and so we actually, after COVID, here I go off on a tangent, so that's my 2 to 3 minutes. But after COVID, we found more and more neighborhoods reactivating, and I think it's because people discovered their neighborhoods because they were walking around them. We maintain a database with contact information for neighborhood leaders and a neighborhood resources website. Process up to 2 city-funded mailings per fiscal year. That's July 1st to June 30th, and that's an offer available to any neighborhood association. And if you don't know whether you've used 2 mailings in the fiscal year, contact us. We write an email, the Neighborhood Nugget, which is really directed to neighborhood leaders. Help reserve public facilities for neighborhood meetings. Often it's TUSD schools, such as we're in today. Plan and host information sessions, training, workshops, such as today's. We attend association meetings. When we're asked, we meet with leaders all the time. Happy to meet you virtually, in person, at your favorite restaurant, wherever. And we answer a myriad of questions. The second thing that PDSD does is oversee the preparation of land use related plans that are very relevant to neighborhoods and reference neighborhoods. These include the 10-year general plan, which is required by state law. The last general plan, Plan Tucson, the one that's existing and now in effect, was ratified by the voters in 2013. And if you, I'm sure, have heard, the plan is being updated and it will go to you, the voters, in 2025. Stop by the table here and with any questions you may have. Additionally, we work with neighborhoods on neighborhood and area plans, which are allowed by state law but not required, but their whole purpose for being is to help implement the goals and policies of the general plan. They're referred in state law they're referred to as specific plans because you're providing more specificity. And finally, as required by city land use code, we send out notifications to neighborhood associations to inform them of rezonings, variances, special exceptions, liquor licenses. That's why it's so important that we have their current information. It's what we maintain in the database. That's what we use the database for. The notices you get are for actions where you can actually provide public comments. So they're very important, and our expectation is that you will then get them out to your membership. So thank you for being here today, and stop by and see us at our table.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Larry Hamley. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation, and I'm really happy about today's event because I do see a lot of folks that I've met with before, but folks that I have not connected with yet. So I'm excited to get to know you and the neighborhood association that you represent. So Parks and Recreation commonly is said to be the Department of Fun, but I think we do more than fun. We connect residents with the opportunity to get to know neighbors in a park, get to know nature, and connect with nature, which I think is really, really important. Even in the summer when it's super hot, there's a lot of benefits that come from getting outside and appreciating your green space. But we have different divisions. So we have our Parks Division that is maintaining your parks, Capital, which is implementing right now the Proposition 407 bond. Those are all the new improvements that you see that are happening in parks, from splash pads to new walking paths to new playgrounds. A lot of fun investments that really, I think, stand for the legacy of City of Tucson and our investment in you and your experience in Parks and Rec. We have recreation, which is how we do KidCo, leisure programming, which can be jewelry class, pottery class, dance class. And I'm always so amazed by all the instructors that we have and what they're able to teach. We have a therapeutic recreation division as well as aquatics, which is where we have Learn to Swim, Adaptive Learn to Swim, which I'm really proud of, and the opportunity for those who love to do lap swimming. But one of the things I really wanted to highlight today, if you haven't seen it yet, so this is a campaign that we launched at the beginning of September. September is Responsible Dog Ownership Month. And what really inspired this campaign, the Leash Up Cleanup campaign, is I get a lot of communication from neighborhood associations about the frustration of folks not keeping their dogs on a leash and then subsequently not picking up after their dogs. And a few of the neighborhood association presidents have said, if only there was something we could do to help. So we came up with a campaign. Please feel free to come by our table. We have a QR code. That QR code will take you to the page that has a ton of graphics that we are encouraging neighborhood associations, youth groups, anyone who said to us, hey, how can we help in promoting and educating about the need to keep your dog on a leash? So there's a lot of different graphics. This is just one of many posters and that we have designed. And we've tried to tap into everything that you've told us, that kids can be afraid of a dog off leash. A dog can be afraid of a dog off leash. An off leash dog can end up attacked. Like, we've heard a lot of the feedback that you've given, and I thought that this was really a great time to connect with you and say thank you for that feedback, because then we listened to you and we turned it into something to help us with doing communication and education. And I was just speaking with someone and I said, if just 1 or 2% of the folks that have been letting their dogs off leash now leash up, then it's worth it. And the community and the engagement that we've had through social media has been tremendous. So I'm really proud of that. And we do have bandanas, dog leashes, dog poop carriers. So please feel free to come by our table, talk to us. We're here to listen to you. Greg is here, he's our deputy director. He has been championing and leading the 407 capital projects. Corey is from our maintenance division, so he can answer questions on like, what is standard levels of maintenance and care in my park? And then we have Danny, and she's from our events, special events section. So I feel like we've come fully prepared to engage with you and really ready to meet with you. So thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sylvia Amparano. I'm the Deputy Director at Tucson Water. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday morning with us. We have always a lot going on at Tucson Water, but one thing I want to highlight is we are just launched our Tucson Water Cares campaign, and there's some copies at the table, so please visit. But what we are doing is we are combining a couple of programs under one umbrella. So Tucson Water Cares, CARE stands for, because we love acronyms, is Community Assistant Resources for Economic Stability. And it really is ways to save money and water to basically have a lower water bill, right? So it highlights both the conservation program and with simple tips on how you can conserve water at your homes. It also has explanations of what our financial assistance programs are. We have had a long-standing low-income program that's been available, and we've streamlined it. We worked very closely with Pima County Sewer and Environmental Services, because we bill for them, to have their discount programs aligned with ours. And so it's one application. If you apply and get approved, you get a discount for all 3 services, depending on your level of income. And a lot of people don't know that, right? So it used to be 3 different applications, 3 different expiration dates. So we wanted to make it as simple for people who need it to take advantage of that program. We also have, payment plans, payment extensions. We also have an emergency and special hardship program. For example, if someone has had an emergency, like a stay in the hospital, and they haven't been able to work, we offer assistance for that, or if the main breadwinner in the family has passed away and they're trying to get their finances in order, that's another program that's available. So we encourage you, if you're going through trouble, financial, issues that you need a little bit of time or a little bit of support, to give us a call to our customer service line, and we can help you, either extend payment or try to give you some assistance. The Tucson Water Cares also has a heavy focus on our conservation program that we've had for many, many years. And, we're proud to say that Tucson has led the way in conservation, compared to the country, right? And so we encourage that to continue. There's still things we can do with technology and new appliances. We offer rebates for our low flow toilets. We offer rain harvesting rebates. There's a lot of information around that at our table. And we also wanted to highlight today our Storm to Shade program. That's a newer program. It's been around for about 4 years. And we've accomplished a lot in those 4 years. And so I encourage you to visit and get more information about, if you are interested in seeing one of those type of projects in your neighborhood, to figure out how you can do that, and talking to Xochitl at our table. We also have one of our Zanjeros at the table who can walk you through how you can do a self-audit of your property. But our website has a lot of information. I encourage you to visit Tucson Water's website. It has conservation, our low-income program, information about the lead and copper rule requirements that we're engaged in, as well as PFAS information about water quality. We have a map there that you can look at what is water quality at your neighborhood, specifically the closest testing point in your neighborhood. So there's a lot of good, useful information there. And if you have questions, please reach out to us at our customer service line, or conservation has a different number as well. But we have a lot to share at our table, so please visit. Thank you.
My name is Jeff Kuhn. I'm a Deputy Director in Public Safety Communications. And the services that we provide as the newest department within the city of Tucson are 911, 311, and the support of our public safety partners for emergency dispatch. And one of the things that I get to do that I find tremendously insightful is work with all of these departments to be the public's connection point to all of these government services that we're talking about. And so in the vision of our mayor, who just a few years ago helped us start up this 311 program, we went live in March of 2023. And so our goal in 311 primarily is to simplify the way that you connect to all of these government services that you're hearing about. So I see notes, there's no way you can capture all of the things that we've heard this morning. So if you're confused about the very complicated, right, process of getting connected to what you need with the city of Tucson, or even Pima County, because we're partnered as a regional approach to 311, you can call 311 and we will help guide you to what you need. Whether it's just information about a public event, we're working very closely with all of the departments so that we have that information available to you. And if we don't have it, we will make sure we give you to those subject matter experts. On the emergency side, Tucson has long had the ability to call 911 for anything. By placing 311 within the 911 center, we can get you to the resource you need regardless of how you reach us, right? And so that's been our balance in public safety communications. If you believe it's an emergency, call us at 911. If it's happening right now, you call us at 911. If it's anything else, you call us at 311. And so I invite you to come over and talk with our gentleman, Alphonse over here, Alfonso, we call him the Fonz, right? And Anthony, they do the job on a daily basis, and they're even more connected than I am to all of the things that happen in the city of Tucson. So I want to thank you for being here, and I look forward to hearing how your experience goes when you reach out to 311 or 911. So thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Hutchinson. I'm the Public Information Specialist with Housing and Community Development. I'm joined today by my coworker, Ernesto Portillo, who is the Public Information Officer for Housing and Community Development, And I would like to share with you just what Housing and Community Development does, also known as HCD. First, we are the city's primary resource for housing. So HCD, with financial support from federal and state governments, we are engaged in several initiatives to maintain safe, affordable housing for families and individuals. HCD provides emergency housing and support for individuals and families experiencing homelessness. And we collaborate with Pima County, other government entities, and local nonprofit organizations. So last year, we accomplished the following. We applied for and received a $50 million Choice Neighborhoods grant from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the Thrive and Heal 5 reinvestment area in Ward 3. And we provided 643 individuals with showers with the city's new mobile shower unit. We assisted 905 people with outreach services. We steered over 1,600 individuals in housing navigation services. And we sheltered 451 individuals at city-managed shelters. We began planning for the development of 1,200 affordable housing units, which are now currently either in construction or in planning. And we opened the public housing choice voucher waitlist for the first time in several years. So we collaborate with nonprofit organizations to increase valuable services and programs. And last year, we distributed nearly $10 million to community-based organizations. We provided $1.5 million in home repair, funding for low-income Tucsonans. And we awarded 57 grants for human services programs. So HCD is a key partner with other city departments. And we add to Tucson's vitality and increase the quality of life for Tucsonans here. So we are focused on creating more affordable housing and reducing homelessness. So we are open and available to assist neighborhood associations and to answer any questions and concerns that you may have. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Ricky and this is Isaac, and I get to share some time with them because we're going to explain what his department, what they do in their, we're one department, but he does more outreach in the community. So what we do is we're the community safety health and wellness program, which centers on meeting the needs of Tucsonans with the right work in the right hands, with awareness that our community is the safest when we have the tools to reduce and prevent crisis. We are working to ensure that the city of Tucson has the appropriate responses to prevent crisis related to substance use, mental illness, and extreme poverty. The program is out of the city manager's office. We did start in July of 2022. We continue to grow. So we started with 5 care coordinators and continued with community enrichment coordinators, which Isaac is. And we also provide a civilian response to non-emergency and low acuity calls coming into our 911 centers related to the complex social needs, including mental health, substance use, or homelessness. And we also coordinate across city departments, nonprofit and community-led organizations to prevent crisis related to mental health, substance use, or extreme poverty. Also to reduce violence and advance, racial equity. The program functions as an umbrella for coordination with special problem-solving teams across multiple city departments. Each team specializes in meeting the needs of the community members experiencing, again, behavioral health crisis and houselessness, and include organizations or departments such as Housing First, mental health, TPD's mental health support team, also known as MIST. We have one of our care coordinators who's designated to MIST, and we do take cases from MIST and help collaborate that way. We also work with TC3, Tucson Collaborative Community Care. I'm not sure if you know about them, out of the fire department that addresses to reduce 911 overuse strictly with the fire department. I used to work with them as well through community bridges addressing community needs with behavioral health services. We also work with community outreach and resource engagement units out of the TPD, so we have gone out to encampments to offer services. What we primarily do is offer resources. We'll do some temporary case management, almost like an interim case management. So a lot of times the people that we meet have had experience being involved in CODE and La Frontera. and we can help bridge gaps as an internal like case management. We can make calls, and it helps. Sometimes people can't get a hold of their behavioral health coach, the recovery coach. So we kind of step in and say, hey, we're the city manager's office, we're a care coordinator. Just want to see if we can have a meeting and address some of the needs of the client who's maybe not been active in his or her case. So we help bridge gaps that way. We've gone as far as getting some food boxes, temporarily, kind of just bridging gaps in that sense. Some of the others, again, that we collaborate with is Kodak, Community Bridges, Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona, Community Home Repair Projects of Arizona, also known as CHRPA, Del Rio Health, etc. So we do have extended arms, and it's a wide umbrella of services and resources that we work with and collaborate with in order to meet the community's needs. And part of our department is the Community Enrichment Coordinators, for which Isaac and Oscar didn't know that.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I work also community safety, health, and wellness. I'm a community enrichment coordinator. Basically, there's two of us right now. It used to be three, but there's two of us, and we are in 3 neighborhoods. We're about to be in the Fort Lowell corridor between First and Stone. We're also going to be there. But our efforts are focused on reducing gun violence. From 911, 311, all those calls, right? We could see where those calls are coming from and things like that. And we are working there, basically bringing people services, trying to empower these communities so that they can all look out for themselves and be able to, how do we bring down gun violence? How do we bring down, people hearing gunshots? How do people feel safe in their neighborhoods? The 3 neighborhoods that we've been working in, I've been working in for the last 3 years: East 22nd Prudence, Dodge Flower area, and South Campbell and Milby. Right now in the South Campbell and Milby, we're in a maintenance phase because stuff is actually going down. Violence and stuff like that is going down. We run into other stuff, EV, things like that. But the gun violence is down. Not just 911 calls. We're on the ground talking to people. And we talk to them too, right? And some of them might say different things, but for the most part, over there, I feel like people are feeling more safe and people are being more in community in the South Campbell area. But we're trying to do that in all of these different neighborhoods that we're working in. If you have any more questions or anything, come to the booth right there. I got a map that shows you where we're working at and stuff like that. If you're interested in that, come and check it out.
Good morning. My name is Steve Laturgo. I'm from Environmental Services. I'm very excited to talk to this group because it makes my work that much easier to be able to talk to representatives, and then you guys get to invite me to talk to your neighborhood associations. I see several familiar faces out here, which I've already spoken to your neighborhood associations already about environmental services. We're not just the trash people, not just the recycle people. We're doing a lot of other stuff in there, and we're trying to get the word out and with those neighborhood association meetings. So if anything, at the end, come by, get my card, invite me over so I can come talk to you. We have this great list there. Instead of grabbing a bunch of paper, because we believe in recycling, you grab this sheet here, you can QR code it right to the top if you want. It'll take you right there, and then you can also share this with the other neighborhood association members. It's a great way, again, you're not using a bunch of paper, and you're being resourceful and efficient. I'm a community services project facilitator, and my specific job is the Team Up to Clean Up program, which is an initiative basically where we gather up community members such as yourselves, come out and clean an area within your neighborhood. I put it on social media. We get people to show up. There's quite a few number of folks that show up to different neighborhoods that are not even registered to them. There's a group of ladies called the Trashy Divas. They clean up trash once a month. They get together, they clean up trash, and then they go have brunch. It's fantastic. And then at the end, they're building up a social community. They're building up different areas that they clean. They mostly take care of the 8 Mountain parking lot, which if you've ever gone to 8 Mountain, it's a tough spot to keep clean, but those ladies are there at least once a month, and then they show up to different areas, communities that we're cleaning together. So Team Up to Clean Up, we're also, again, involved with the recycling. 9 different breweries in the community are donating their spent grain bags. So when we show up to clean, we're not using these big plastic bags that we were using in the past, because they were only getting half filled because then they get super heavy. We're using these grain bags, and so we're also reducing the amount of trash that's being put in the landfill, and we're putting away these bags that were in there. We've only done the program for 2 months, and we've already used 700 bags in just an amount of cleanup. So if anything, if you have a couple people that clean up in your neighborhood, give me a call. I'll drop off a pack of 25 bags to you, and we can keep on rolling and using more and more bags within our community. On this list, though, we do have a household hazardous waste. Household hazardous waste is out there on the second Saturday of every month in different parts. We were just here on Tucson Boulevard, down here across the street. We're going to be next month down on the east side, but on the second Saturday of every month, household hazardous waste is collecting all the solvents, Roundup, weed killer, fire extinguishers, batteries, LED light bulbs, old paint. Please come and drop it off to us. It's free. It's a service you're already paying for. Just don't show up at 11:30 because we close at 12, and that's when the line there's a line of cars out there. You show up at 8 o'clock, we get you rolling in there. We do paper shredding for free. Come on, drop all your paper, your e-waste, all the solvents that I just mentioned, also glass. So come by, and you can do that, and that's household hazardous waste. Russian bulky is also going around. That's twice a year it's happening. We are behind. I can honestly tell you that. We're getting a bunch of calls. You haven't shown up. We are behind at least 2 weeks at minimum. So please note that. It's the end of the year also coming around, so we're trying to catch up with a Russian bulky, but also if you scan the code, it'll give you the calendar. We haven't put out the new calendar for next year, but we're working on that. Also a QR code. It's not right part of the Department of Transportation and Mobility. They're next, but I also have them on there because sometimes if you have a wash that needs to be mowed down and it's getting really tall, scan that code and you can send that young lady an email, and then they'll make arrangements to come and try to get that done. We also have a recycle coach. You scan the code, you put it on your phone. This happens to me all the time. I'm sure it's happened to you. Monday comes along, it's Labor Day, and you're like wondering, are they coming tomorrow to pick up my trash, or are they coming Wednesday, which is my off day? So recycle coach will give you a reminder when the trash is coming up. It'll also give you a reminder when HHW is happening. It'll also give you a reminder of when we have special events such as the Zero Waste events coming November 2nd. And it's a fantastic opportunity to get rid of things that you have in your drawers, like prescription glasses. We collect all prescription glasses, we give them to the Lions Club. Lions Club gets them and repurposes them and gives them to people who need them. Medical equipment, if you ever hurt your wrist or your ankle and you have that boot still lying in the closet, they'll collect all those medical equipment, walkers. They'll donate it to people who need it. Old flags need to be disposed of appropriately. So a different group, Legion are there, also collecting old flags, old books. You're wondering, Bookman's doesn't take these books, what do I do with them? The Friends of the Public Library are there, they're collecting old books. We'll also have Goodwill there collecting items that you don't need, want to discard of. E-waste. You shouldn't throw a flat screen TV into the dumpster just because it fits in there. Bring it to the e-waste, and we'll get rid of it appropriately. So please check this out. It's Recycle Coach November 2nd. We're going to be there by Himmel Park doing that. We're also doing stuff with other folks, like we're doing composting. You register for a composting class, we give you a free bin, you put it on your counter, we throw away a lot of food and it ends up in the landfill. A better way is that you throw it in a compost bin. We have different locations around the city. Drop it off there, and then we turn it into compost down at the landfill, and then you can pick up free compost instead of going to Home Depot and paying $6 for a bag of compost. Come and get it for free, and it also encourages more gardening within your communities. We also have, besides composting, we're working with the Hefty program. It's the new recycling program. It's the different recyclables that you didn't have before, like that little cage that strawberries come in or your blueberries. Now you can put those in the orange bin, your straws, whatnot. A bag takes about a month to fill. I have a family of 3, and it takes us about a month to fill up all these hard recycles, straws, grocery bags, those things. They go in that orange bin, and then those orange bins at different ward offices, there's a big old orange coffin there, and you throw it in there. We're also working with the Tucson Fire. Buffalo grass is a very real problem. If you remember what happened in Hawaii, that can happen here. We're not taking care of our properties. So buffalo grass is another thing we're working with code enforcement. If you have that kind of question, or I think we all think we're all doing great as a neighbor, but our neighbor's not doing their best, and you have questions about that, you can look at our neat neighbor, what your neighbor, or what you should be doing with each other in terms of trying to keep the environment safe, including buffalo grass. Come visit us in the back. I thank you. I hope you have a fantastic day. And thank you for being here because this makes our jobs a lot easier. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Andrea Altamirano. I am with the Department of Transportation and Mobility, but specifically under Neighborhood Traffic Management Program and the Safe Streets mini grant program. So if you have DOT or Department of Transportation questions, don't just email me. Go to 311 because I don't know all of the Department of Transportation and Mobility. It's specific to our neighborhood traffic mitigation type of programs. So I have a question for you. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Andrea Altamirano, I think I did, but I also wanted to introduce my coworker, Josette. She's a pro with all of our neighborhood traffic mitigation program things. She helps us with maps and everything. So please contact us if you have questions. But I do have a question for you. Do you agree that speeding endangers pedestrians, children, bicyclists, right? Yes, it definitely does. So I invite you to attend or to visit our table back there. There's a voter initiative that was recently approved 2 years ago. This is the second year that we're going to award neighborhoods funding for traffic mitigation. Traffic mitigation are things like speed humps, traffic circles, chicanes. Although sometimes we might not be so crazy or happy with speed humps, they really do their job to slow down traffic and really makes your neighborhood safer. I didn't realize at first that we pay for these things. Residents pay for traffic mitigation. So this is a great opportunity to apply for a grant. The application deadline is the end of this year, so December 31st. And the application is fairly easy. If you have any questions about it, there's always room for improvement, right? So if there's anything we need to improve in the application, something doesn't seem accessible or easy, please contact me about it. But the award, right now the limits are about $75,000 for any traffic mitigation, but we really just ask you to not think so much about the funding, how much it all is going to cost, but in my street, right, I experience so much speeding in my neighborhood, and I think maybe speed tables would be, speed humps would be better, or I don't really like speed humps, no one likes the speed humps in the street. Could we possibly apply for chicanes or a traffic circle? You can leave it up to our engineers and the individuals who work in that department to figure out are the fire trucks going to allow a speed hump in this neighborhood? So we can help you determine what would be the best thing for your neighborhood, but on the application, you can indicate to us, you know, our residents, our neighbors seem to want to try to beautify the neighborhood, and we think a chicane would be nicer or a traffic circle. And then it goes through our agency to ensure that that's even allowed or that it's not going to hinder police and fire or create more water issues, right? Like stormwater issues in the neighborhood. So there's a lot of different steps to it, but I think the really positive thing about it is that it does fund those traffic mitigation features, right? So this is a great opportunity to apply. The website provides a lot of information about it, as well as the scoring and how we look at the applications. It's really based on safety, on equity, on, do you already have certain features in the neighborhood? We look at data statistics on crashes. Have you been experiencing lots of issues in your neighborhood? So I invite you to take a visit our table. There's a cute little game that we can play, just asking you some questions about traffic mitigation. There's more information in the back of the flyer and our contact information, as well as a QR code. For those of you who don't like using the computer, just give me a call or email me. That's perfectly fine as well. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Cindy Meckrell. I'm a captain of the Tucson Police Department, and thank you very much for being here today. So as you probably know, we respond to emergency calls for service, among other things, but in particular to neighborhood associations, what we can do with you is collaborate. We can come to your meetings to collaborate on whatever issues you're having in your neighborhood, whether it's junk motor vehicles, racing vehicles, maybe there's a house in your neighborhood where you're seeing a lot of what seems to be drug activity. So if you come to your meetings, we love to be a part of your events because we really like to get to know our community members. So if you have back to school events, holiday events, anything like that, please invite us. I oversee the community engagement division, but each of you lives in a particular division, as you probably know. So if you don't know your command staff, I'm happy to give you their contact information. We recently had a lot of movement in our department, so I'd love to connect you to the right people that can help you out with your particular issues. We work a lot with the ward offices. So the city of Tucson has some complex challenges, right? So we kind of need to work together with all of our city partners and with you to come up with good ideas to tackle those things. So we work a lot with our ward offices. So if you would like to request a meeting with your council member and include us in that, we would love to do that. At our table today is Community Service Officer Anna Mendoza and Officer Castillo, AKA Kanda. They both work on the south side, so if your neighborhood association happens to be on the south side, you may already know them. If not, please come and meet them. But again, we can connect you with your divisional resources. Also, I happen to oversee the volunteer program, so I would love to personally recruit every single one of you to be a volunteer for the Tucson Police Department. Again, it's a collaboration, right? So thank you for being here. Please come to our table so we can meet you and talk more about what we can do for you. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Burke. I serve as Deputy Director for the City of Tucson's Office of Economic Initiatives. What do? Business attractions, business expansion, business creation, and brand positioning for the City of Tucson. So we are admittedly not totally focused on neighborhoods. A lot of what we do is external marketing for the City of Tucson. We're looking to bring quality jobs and capital investment to the City of Tucson, and we do that in a number of ways. We're always working with our partners like Sun Corridory, which is a regional economic development agency, the county, the university, community college, to try to reach out to businesses that aren't in Tucson, and when they're looking to expand or relocate, to tell them about Tucson and hopefully get them to make a decision to create jobs and bring that capital investment here. We also do a lot of work with the existing business community. So we're really focused on some of our major employers here in Tucson, helping them grow and expand their businesses. We also do a lot of work with the small business community. So our small business programs provide assistance and training to entrepreneurs who are looking to start a business or existing small business owners who are ready to take the next step in bringing their business or expanding their business here in Tucson. So I'll be in the back of the room and happy to answer any questions or have a conversation about all things economic development. Thank you.